This morning on AM Minnesota are Mona Kaiser and Todd Markman. Todd, are you the co-chair of the campaign?
I'm with the board there that's chairing the campaign. There's several of us, so I don't want to take credit that's not really due to me. But
Steering committee.
Steering committee, I think there's 7 of us key members, and so it's quite a group.
Yeah, it's been quite a process, I would guess.
We've been at this for going to be close to 2 years, beginning next year. So it's been quite a process. It's been a lot of fun and ups and downs, and so it's been a good time.
I remember, Mona, you saying when you first embarked on this there would be a 2-year campaign.
Absolutely. It's not surprising. You know, it's a big project. It's a lot of money, and we wanted to involve a lot of people, and so we knew it would take quite a while. So,
2.1 million is the goal, and drum roll, please. You are at.
We're at approximately 1.3. So
you're getting there, Todd.
Oh yeah, it's getting exciting right now.
Yeah, it's very exciting. The goal is to get to 90% of our construction number in order to break ground. And as soon as we can get to that 90% of that construction number, we'll be able to break ground. If things continue to go well, our goal is to break ground in the spring. We're not there yet, but that would be really amazing.
Construction number is 1.9 million.
Thank you. Yes, you're right. 1.9 is the construction number.
You're the banker. 90% of 1.9 million is?
$1,710,000.
That's true.
$1,710,000.
He did that right off the top of his head.
That number has been rolling around in our heads. Maybe he just did, but
no.
1 million.
We come prepared, Gertie.
Okay. Well, if I had $410,000, I'd write you a check right now, but I don't. But really, when you think about it, that's not a lot of money in the grand scheme of things.
Absolutely. When you think about how far we've come to raise over $1 million, and really, you know, when Todd talked about we've been at this for 2 years, we've actually been receiving gifts since just it was a year in September. So, you know, 18 months, maybe 15 months was our first gift. So to raise, you know, just about $1.3 million in 15 months says really a lot about the support and the contributions from our community, members and non-members.
And earlier this week, I know you guys were at a joint committee meeting of the council.
That's correct.
I want to emphasize that. No votes taken because it's a committee meeting.
Correct.
And you received virtually a pledge, sort of, because like I said, no vote was taken,
right,
of $152,000.
Yeah, it's kind of like a straw poll. Mayor Jasinski did a great job conducting the meeting, of course, as always, and looking around and seeing, you know, where the votes likely will come in from the city council people. And so we left the meeting very pleased, in belief that at the council meeting here a week from Tuesday that they'll appropriate these funds that we've been talking about towards the project. So it's a great joint venture, the senior center and the community of Faribault, the city of Faribault, with all that's gone together with our contract of services. And you know, we came to the city as we realized how much of this expanded facility will actually be utilized by the city, and said, you know, we're in favor of working with the city, and is the city on line with us to help with some of the construction costs, and the heads were nodding, and so we came together and put together this plan, and it looks like it's gonna work. But that city council meeting is the all-important vote at that next city council meeting. So
yep, that's when I'm sure they'll take the vote on it, and we'll of course let you know what happens. We're going to take a market update now, then we're going to come back and talk more about the Faribault Area Senior Center expansion program, the building and how much of an expansion it's going to be and that sort of thing.
Well, it kind of was going for the wrong reasons.
Live and feeder cattle
So
they all mature differently, and
traders waiting to see if there's any wet cash
that's true.
business
So
left
then
to
he
be
ended
done.
up back home.
December
Too bad
lives
for
down
him.
160 at 108.97.
But
February
now he's
210
married and got a great job and a wife and a dog and a baby and a boat.
so all works
And
out.
hogs are mixed mostly lower on demand.
Oh,
in
don't mean to scare you, but
December's
that does
up
happen
55
too.
at
Oh, yeah.
50.77. February's down 10 at 53.97.
How many kids do
The
you have?
outside markets are mixed in
Those
the early
two, yeah.
going.
Maria's,
John Perkins, Round Field
26.
Market Update.
Okay.
Thanks, John. Appreciate that opening market report. Again, a service of your KDHL Agri Boosters, including Ag Power Enterprises, your John Deere dealer in Owatonna, Hollandale, Belle Plaine, also Osage and Northwood, Iowa. If you'd like to be an Agri Booster, give Jerry Grosskreutz a call. I'm sure he'd love to work with you on being a Agri Booster here on the mighty 920 KDHL. Mona Kaiser and Todd Markman are in studio. They are with the Faribault Area Senior Center. Well, today they are. Todd, you're normally at Reliance Bank.
Yes.
Right.
But happy to help out with the project with the senior center.
Well, you are about my age, I think, and we're approaching that level. of
Golden
life.
age.
Yes. So, but again, I want to emphasize, and you did earlier, this benefits the whole community because the recreation department for the city is going to use it. So that means young and old alike will use this, right, Mona?
That's exactly right. The development agreement that we signed with the city of Faribault in November of 2014 lays out very clearly how the space will be used. And so the senior center will have primary use of the space, the entire senior center, the current space and the addition, between the hours of 8 a.m. and 5 p.m. So those are the hours that we really use it and plan to continue using it. So our primary time will be 8 to 5. But the city's primary time will be prior to 8 a.m. and after 5 p.m., which actually works out really well for them because they're catering to a different audience. Those are the people that are still working or have children, and they'll use it before, maybe an exercise class before 8 o'clock, before somebody wants to go to work, or maybe they'll use our conference room for a presentation after 5 p.m. in an evening. Plus they have all the weekend times too. So we have it divided out. Actually, somebody took time to break it down percentage-wise, and it's just about 50-50 as far as the number of hours that each of us will have primary use.
No, and you were on this show with the mayor talking about that development agreement.
Yes.
It was my understanding that part of the deal in all this, if I remember the mayor correctly, was they would be able to unload, for lack of a better term, Washington Recreation Center. That would not be on the city's coffers anymore. Well, since that time, they've realized how much they need that gym, right? So there's talk about putting in another gym down by the community center, but that is on hold now because of this new possible field house.
Right, right. You know, their positions are a little more fluid than ours. You know, they have other things to weigh and things happening in the community that they have to keep in mind. Washington, keep it, sell it, build a new gym on the current space, don't build it. All of those things are under discussion with the city, and really will have to be decided by them, but they haven't done that yet.
Yeah, we'll have to have some city folks on the air here soon to talk a bit about that because they're kind of landlocked where they're at with the community center, are they not?
Yeah, there's room for a gymnasium on the back. The city owns a majority of the block.
Right.
Not all of it, but a majority of it. And right behind the current gymnasium, there is space which would fit, where a gymnasium would fit.
Okay.
It's a pretty high grade,
Yeah.
but you know it's doable, and they have looked at that.
So refresh our memories here, guys. This expansion doubles the size of the senior center. Is that right?
Actually, more than. Is that how it would be? 5,500 square feet is our current space.
Okay.
And the addition is 11,000. So would that be triple?
Mm-hmm.
Tripled. It would be tripled once total, if you do the total. So 5,500, we're adding on another 11,000, which would give us, 16,000 square feet total.
What do you plan on utilizing using that space for?
Well, I'm happy you asked.
Yes.
All right, so we'll put this on the camera.
Right there on the camera.
So
watch this on YouTube. You can see the drawing, the schematic, which you can't see on the radio.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to even try to describe it on the radio because it looks like I draw.
we do have an architect's drawings on this on the plan. And the three key features I would say would be a fitness room. And by a fitness room, I'm not talking about a room that will have exercise equipment in it. No treadmills, no elliptical machines or weights. The city of Faribault has all of that already down the hall. This room will be mirrors, a nice floor, maybe some mats and some exercise balls and those sorts of things. So for classroom space. That's the first thing, is the fitness room.
So we're talking like yoga or something?
Yes, absolutely. Yoga for seniors and Tai Chi and some of those bone builders. Those are things that are exercise classes that are geared specifically for the people we serve, older adults. Then the conference room, which will be have a new computer screens or technology, nice sound systems, and be able to set up just for programs. Right now we're using our dining room, and that has served us well, but we're really limited by using that dining room. And the third space then is our coffee shop, or our commons area. What we're finding is that as people retire, one of the things they enjoy doing is spending time with their peers, and very often that's over a cup of coffee. So our coffee shop right now is really bursting at the seams, for lack of a better word. I just am so happy and pleased to see so many people. In fact, sometimes I walk in there and it just makes me smile, and I tell some of the people having coffee, I feel like a little mother hen with all my chicks around me. And they just laugh because they know that I'm a little younger than they are right now. So the coffee shop is going to be probably the centerpiece. Wouldn't you say, Todd?
I would, and I think it's what I'd like to say is that we've done a really good job in designing this as a need for our community, but not going overboard. It's very adequate and going to be really, really nice. But at the same time, we're not trying to build something that's way better than anybody else or way more than what we need. Right now, our coffee area is pretty tight, and our dining area is used for many other purposes. And we're just kind of stumbling over each other to provide services within 5,500 square feet. And by adding this 11,000 more, it's going to be greatly adequate for what's needed in this community. And I'm excited and have always backed this project because I believe Faribault really needs this kind of amenity, with all the other communities, surrounding communities. And we're in competition, whether we like it or not, as our population ages and they decide that they have to move more towards town and the amenities in their community. This is going to be a great star in the cap of Faribault, and it fits right in with our 2040 vision. And the city has put together this vision, and they want to emphasize downtown. And I think what better anchor than the south end of downtown to have this great senior facility along with the Parks and Rec department. We've got our Buckham Center down there. It's just this is really cool, and Faribault is going to shine with this, and we deserve it, and we really deserve it for our older and aging population.
Well, you and I are baby boomers. I think you're in the baby boomer,
I am.
right, Mona?
Yes.
And that's going to really blow up here soon.
Absolutely. In fact, my favorite statistic, and I'm sure I've said this before, is by the year 2020, which is really right around the corner.
Yes.
There will be more retirees or older adults than school-aged children. So that is a overwhelming number of people moving into that population, and those are those of us, the baby boomers, born between 46 and 64. So that would be, and here I am smack dab in the middle of that. So what did Mayor Jasinski called it? A silver tsunami. It's a term he's heard. So that would be probably a nice description. There's
For
a lot of us.
you have hair, you've got some silver there, Todd.
Wisdom. I call it wisdom, and hopefully I can keep it for a little bit longer. So I keep combing it over as long as I got a little bit there to comb.
Yeah, I quit doing that a number of years ago. I just shave it off.
Well, there we go. The support in the community has been so amazing. I was looking up the numbers before I came today. 446 donors. And I think that's amazing. For example, and that would be not individuals. So my husband and I made a gift. We are one, not two.
Okay.
So a couple would count as one. So 446 donors, and 309 of them are senior center members, which really is pretty cool to think. First of all, that the membership is really supporting us, but also the community. That's just under 150 community members too, private businesses, and local people that live here. So those are amazing numbers. Great support. So
I also want to, say hats off to the city council and how they've studied this and decided how they hopefully can help us with this project, as obviously they see the need and their need to step up to the plate and assist us. And they're just not pulling a number out of the hat. We went to them with a suggestion. They have some monies that they know that will be available from the sale of the old city shop, and they're being very responsible with that money. Some of that money will be used to raise some of the houses on the block, and they've set aside, at least at this point in their planning, from the meeting the other night, about $152,000 that would go towards our project. And I just think, this wasn't just some number that was pulled out of a hat. Some great thought and work went into it. Our city council people, hats off to them for the work that they've done and how they work with the funds that we, as a community, have to work with through the taxes and the levies and whatnot that go on there. To be commended.
And Todd Markman and Mona Kaiser are with me from the Faribault Area Senior Center. Their expansion project is almost ready to hit the ground running, but they need more help from us. So how can people donate if they'd like to do that?
Well, one of the things that we launched for the month of December, which I'd love to share with people, is in order to try to generate a little bit more interest, is during the month of September, if somebody makes a new gift or an additional gift to what they've already pledged of $1,000, we will offer them a membership to the senior center for next year. So for example, if my husband and I make a decision, we are going to add another $1,000 to our pledge, we would receive a membership to the senior center. So now's a good time to do that. We want to get a little more interest and maybe generate people to give a little bit more. The $1,000 gift has been chosen because that's the number that allows you to be named on our, for lack of a better word, wall of honor. So people that give at the $1,000 level or higher will be named on that, and we really want people to be recognized also. So that's one thing that people can do. Along with that, people of course can make a pledge of any amount. We have received lots and lots and lots of donations of less than 1,000, and people are giving as they are able. So very, very wonderful support. So
I know when we did the kickoff, Todd had this brilliant idea of having a coat room named after me for, what was that again?
Not sure if it was a coat room, but they had a room there that they were gonna do toe clippings, and I thought that was the Gordy Cosfield toe clipper room, something like that.
I think you said it would cost me like 30 grand or something, didn't you?
Just a pittance of what's available from that deep coffer of the Cosfield family.
Anyway,
and the other thing that we've received are some really wonderful in-kind gifts. For example, ISG, our architect, has made an in-kind gift. Metcon, the contractor that we have hired, has made an in-kind gift. Gary Vogel has made an in-kind gift. Fox Video has made an in-kind gift. Sage Glass is probably something that I haven't talked about yet. Sage Glass is going to be providing us with the Sage Glass windows in our building. So we are just thrilled with the fact that we're going to have those wonderful windows with that electro technology where you can adjust the tint in the windows. So we would never be able to put that wonderful glass in. So Sage is providing us with an in-kind gift of the windows in our brand new building.
It'll be very energy efficient.
Very, very much so. Very much so. When we met with them, we found I was able to see how that worked, and it's just going to be very, very cool to have that in there. So kudos to them. In-kind gifts are as welcomed as a cash gift. So we're happy to have that.
And 'tis the season, Gordy, for giving, as people look at their positions, their financial positions, and a lot of people gift at this time of the year. So it's a great time to look at the senior center as a possible place for some of those gifts that you're considering. We would really appreciate that.
Yep.
I know that your financial planner also can talk to you about that some funds that you can either pay taxes on or you can give away, and so they can give you some advice on that. And we have had several people that have sent us checks for that reason. So being a private nonprofit, 501c3, we have the tax ID number that you would need in order to get that deduction. And we've had lots of people doing that. So check with your financial planners to see if you would fall into that category as well. So, Gordy.
Let's say you get to that $1,710,000 level by end of February.
Mm-hmm.
So then the spring you break ground. How soon will we see this?
Well, the timeline that we've received from our construction company, from Metcon, is if we can break ground in the spring, we will start construction or continue construction throughout next year and should be able to occupy by January of 2018. So just over a year, coming up now. So that's we will not be doing winter construction. That is expensive, and so if we don't break ground in the spring and do our construction work, our dirt work and all of that during the warm weather, we will have to put it on hold until the next year because winter conditions would be too cost prohibitive for us. And along with putting it off, of course, the construction costs would go up and so on. So that's why we're really excited about the potential for the gift from the city and the opportunity then to hopefully get this thing going in the spring.
So the 1.3 million you told me earlier does not include the 152 yet from the city.
Correct.
So you could get closer to 1.5 million.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
If that gift is approved by the council at their next meeting.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so we're right there. We're right on the cusp, Gordy, and we're going to get there. It's going to happen.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, very confident. Yeah.
Yeah, when you work at this for this long, you think, how is this possible? And I, to tell you the truth, I have no experience in fundraising at this level. I'm not a professional fundraiser, but it's amazing when you have a good project how much easier it gets to say, hey, you know what? I believe in this, and it's a good deal, and I'm learning a lot from people like Todd, who is, got more experience in the community and how to talk to people, and I just, it's going really well.
Well, you were involved in the pool, weren't you, the aquatic center?
Right, the Faribault Foundation and raising money for the building of the Family Aquatic Center.
You can compare the two here.
Yeah, well, and many things, amenities for our community, and that's what makes it easy, is that we're building a greater and a better community for all of us. And so we can, smile and be happy and pleased with what we're putting together for our community here. So it's hard work, but it's not that hard work. It's fun.
It's an investment into our future.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and people tell us, well, why are you going to raise the money first? Well, we believe that the organization made that decision a long time ago. The board of directors made that decision a long time ago that we were going to get to the 90% before we break ground. Because of being a nonprofit, you never are quite sure. Things can fluctuate based on the economy and the membership and so on. So we want to make sure that we're doing right by the organization. and raising the money first.
Well, let's think about the primary generation that's involved in this. These are fiscally, by and large, prudent people, right?
Yes. We'd think, yeah.
Yeah, they wouldn't have it any other way.
My dad was of that vintage, and he was you pay cash for it or you don't buy it kind of thing.
Right, and we're not going to strap the senior center with a mortgage, and put this on the future of the coming generations to pay for some kind of product that we wanted today. So we're raising the money and going to have the money and then build it and have this then for the future and not have to worry about paying for it over a term.
And I think the example that was set for me was that's how our current building was done. Is they did this the same way. They raised the money first. Don Johnson led that capital campaign years ago, and they raised the money up front. And so I appreciate that as the director of this organization, not have to wonder, how's the economy going to be? How's the membership going to be? What's going to happen? So I don't have that worry, and we don't want that to happen to the future either.
No. So again, people just contact you if they're interested in.
Absolutely. faribault.org would be perfect. We have a link on our website. Stop in, give me a call. But faribaultseniorcenter.org is probably the easiest way to get a pledge form. But we'd be happy to meet with you and give you more specifics as well.
These pledge forms available at your bank at all times?
Oh yeah, I've got plenty of them at the bank. So if they want to stop in the bank and visit with me personally, I've got the information that can help people out and understand how to take care of their gift.
Yeah. Well, maybe closer for some folks. That's what I was thinking.
Sure.
Oh, absolutely. We're happy to make it as convenient as we can for people. So thanks for this chance to talk about it. I know people are very excited about it as we are, and being able to explain this update is very appreciated. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, not a problem. I wanted to update people on how it was going.
Yeah.
And it sounds like it's going great.
Right,
Yeah.
right. There's a lot happening right now. I know that the city councils, their support is appreciated. We look forward to that vote in a couple of weeks. But that the fact that they're considering us and seeing us as an important player in Faribault is very evident. Very evident.
Yes.
So.
Well, and then the next discussion, and we're going to have Todd Sesker on in the not too distant future, superintendent of the Faribault Public Schools, is this field house concept that's being thrown about and closer to reality too. So we'll talk about that in a future show. Great.
Thanks, Gordy.
Agree with you, Todd. Amenities in the community are a good selling point for the community for businesses to come here.
Yeah, I mean, we deserve it. Why not? And Faribault's a great community to raise your families and to live in. So have these great amenities is very helpful.
Yep, you're in tune to KDHLAM, Faribault, Minnesota. Have yourselves a super weekend.